I'm Sasha Chua, and this is July 3, 2006. Today was an absolutely terrific book day. I finished Siddharta by Hermann Hesse, and I bought five books at chapters. So, How to Win Friends and Influence People, How to Talk to Anyone, 92 Little Tricks for Big Success in Relationships, The Right to Write, Chicken Soup for the Canadian Soul, and 5 Good Minutes. James Avinyuk, one of the grad students here, lent me Siddharta by Hermann Hesse because he, thought I might be really interested in the ideas. It's a good novel. It's a really nice novel, very well expressed, and it talks about Siddharta's search for enlightenment. Good stuff. I like a particular passage here, which speaks to me right now, and that's on page 60. It goes, "Listen, Kamala, when you throw a stone into the water, it finds the quickest way to the bottom of the water. It is the same when Siddharta has an aim, a goal. Siddharta does nothing. He waits, he thinks, he fasts, but he goes through the affairs of the world like the stone through the water, without doing anything, without bestirring himself. He is drawn and lets himself fall. He is drawn by his goal, for he does not allow anything to enter his mind which opposes his goal. That is what Siddharta learned from the Samanas. It is what fools call magic and what they think is caused by demons. Nothing is caused by demons. There are no demons. Everyone can perform magic. Everyone can reach his goal if he can think, wait, and fast." I like that in a lot of other passages in the book because they express some truths very, very well. Some insights. So, check this out. Worth reading. So I said that I mentioned that I rated chapters, and one of the things that I got myself was another copy of Dale Carnegie's classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, again, this is a classic. The lessons that you have here are not new. They've been repeated again and again in all of the speaking, relationship, not really communication books. That's it, communication books. So the points aren't new in themselves, but what I like about this book, I guess, are the examples that he gives to support his points. So I might be able to refer to those in my own speeches or blog posts or whatever. It's kind of nice to be able to have this on hand just in case I need to refer to something. So How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's good. So the introduction is kind of like kind of a little full of itself, but it does have useful insights. Slightly easier to read and a lot more fun is How to Talk to Anyone, 92 Little Tricks for Big Success in Relationship. Don't get put off by the weird title and even worse, self-helpy blurb at the back. Become a master communicator and succeed in life, love, and business. This isn't really a schmoozing book. It's more of, again, very practical tips on how to avoid sounding like a jerk, how to deal with your anxiety and things like that. So something to read about, something to read through and maybe blog about every so often. It's nicely written, at least from the few pages I've read, and worth it. I'm also interested in writing stories, so I got myself The Right to Write by Julia Cameron. Julia Cameron also wrote The Artist's Way, which my mom really likes, so I think I'll probably enjoy this book as well. I've heard of The Artist's Way, and I've heard of The Right to Write, and because I'm interested in writing, I figured I might as well read it, try out some of the exercises, and learn more about this wonderful thing. Speaking of writing and stories, though, I also got myself Chicken Soup for the Canadian Soul, which is about a collection you can get of heart-tugging, kind of stories. I wanted to get this because I wanted a sappy overload. That and learning more about what Canadians are proud of, what they really love about their country and about themselves, will make it easier for me to connect with them. And as international a city as Toronto is, people do still, they feel Canadian also. And I run into all these people who are actually from here. They seem to be the minority though. The funny thing is that for like 9 out of 10 of the stories I've read are related to hockey and other sports, but maybe that's because I just haven't read everything yet. So, might be interesting for the stories. Another excellent find for today was 5 Good Minutes, which is a book of all these little things that you can do when you've only got 5 minutes and you want to be able to relax or meditate. I do live life at a frenzy pace. Stephen Perelgood at IBM was always laughing about how I'm like running around. But one of the things I love doing is calibrating, recentering, finding a moment to breathe. And having all these things that you can do in 5 minutes is nice. It's good for relaxing. It's good for, say, those minutes in the subway or in between tasks when you find yourself running a little bit dry. You can rest and recharge. The other reason why I wanted to buy this book, and I think it's really worth it, is because I have a lot of friends who are super busy. So if I can help them keep in touch with themselves and to help them take breaks every so often, it only takes 5 minutes. It'll help them relax. So this is good too. So that's my book budget for July. I need to figure out how to up my book budget. I also need to figure out where to start putting all of these books. There's no more space in my bookshelf. So I'm going to have to probably pack away my Penguin collection and my scrapbook and then use the top shelf for these new books. But that means I need to get new bookends because otherwise they'll fall off the sides. And if they're out of eyesight, or at least, I'm not a very tall person, they're already kind of like 3 feet away. I'm not going to be able to reach them that easily. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm planning to get maybe some tall bookshelves from IKEA, and I'll have to keep it in the common area of our suite because being in a double room, there's actually not much space. I can put stuff. I don't have like a wall that's my own that I can. Well, it's taken up by my bed and my desk, so I can't just add shelving. I really, really like books, and I probably shouldn't be buying this many, then not knowing where I'm going to be in a couple of years and so on and so forth. But I can't resist. I want to be able to think about all these nifty ideas. I want to be able to read and think about what other people have thought, what other people have put into writing. And having my own books instead of just borrowing from the library or getting them perhaps as ebooks makes it easier for me to flip through them randomly, or to I really love it when I get to give a book away to someone because it fits that person perfectly. So I like having books, and it's kind of funny because I didn't used to spend for books. I used to just try to read them in the bookstore, but now I like having them. I like being able to flip through them. So now I have a book storage problem. That's one. I need more bookshelves, and two, I want to read more books, but my budget of I need to play around with my budget so that I can buy more books, or I can just read most of them in store. Because books are nice, and if I can share what I learned from these books maybe with other people, then if I can create value for them, yada yada yada, maybe I'll get more books. So that was my very, very good book day today. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of what I learned from those books with you guys. Bye!